that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, I'm here. Who wants to fight with me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
My goal is to demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles. Body work,
Welcome to Body Work. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Body Work Boxing. It feels so good to be back. We're going to talk about the 135-pound division. Some things done took place. Another kingdom has been established. Yeah. Some people out here saying that, Loma might have turned back the hands of time. Did he? I'm not sure. Because I kind of always been giving y'all the real deal about George Kambosos the whole time, man. But, that's neither here nor there. But really, before we get into these rankings, I started something last week. And I was talking about bread and circuses. And I think it's important to just dig into that a little bit because it's befitting. For the landscape of what's going on and how I see it, man. It's kind of weird because there's a lot of waffling going on, and I've never really been that good at politics. I know how to play them, but I don't like them. So, it's starting to come into boxing. I mean, whether we believe it or not, and a lot of so many people are so thirsty for bread. And when I say bread, I mean money. I told you our relevancy is the new drug, so everybody's vying for that attention. But it is really a real circus. But with no further ado, it's only three little things I'm going to get into, and then we're going to break down this 135 division and what I got on my mind about it. A phrase used by a Roman writer to deplore the declining heroism of Romans after the Roman public ceased to exist and the Roman Empire began: two things only the people anxiously desire: bread and circuses. The government kept the Roman populace happy by distributing free food and staging huge spectacles. And we talk about the Romans now. I think where we at? We in 2024. What was the purpose? To keep the votes of poor citizens by introducing a grain dole, giving out cheap food and entertainment. Bread. The bread that Juvenal refers to was the free monthly grain dole that citizens of the capital city were eligible to collect, and the circuses were violent. What was the bread and circuses in Roman Empire? Roman rulers deliberately kept the populace in a complacent and inert state by continually plying them with handouts of free food and lavish, violent shows. There's nothing new under the sun. I think that was in I don't know, I might have read that in a fortune cookie or something. I'm not sure. This concept is usually expressed in shorthand by the expression bred in circuses, or occasionally in the original Latin version panem et circuses. And this is the last one, I promise you, then we're going to come out and get down. What did the Romans provide bred in circuses to prevent? In order to keep the people of Rome from becoming too unhappy with their lives, the government provided them with enough food or bread so they wouldn't starve, and enough entertainment so they would be amused. And it's relevant because I'm thinking right now we're in a day and a time where, I mean, yeah, we all want to be amused by boxing, but it's like it's really starting to be like a real circus. And I told y'all that the analogy that I always want to give is pretty much you got the county fair is what's going to show up every now and again. You might get a bearded lady. You might get a man that can swallow a sword or something. But what we should be aspiring for is that Cirque du Soleil. That's that creme de la creme. That's when they hire talent from all across the world that can do they always have contortionists, but these ones can like scale the whole crowd, and it's the upper echelon. It's the classier part. It's the one that's like, oh, okay, cool. It's a circus. It's a spectacle, but it's a high-end spectacle. That's why I got to come put these stakes in the ground. And if we want to be entertained, let's do it right. I think I'll be listening so much sometimes. I can't go back into the gaslighting thing, but I'll be thinking, man, am I crazy, man? Is it just me? But really, I'm out here to put stakes in the ground, really highlight some things, and really put some things into perspective. So I'm just getting everything up here. I'm getting this up here. Let me see who we got in here already. Who we got in the building? Let's see. Josh Chimes, salute, bro. Salute, Josh. Al Money, salute, bro. What's up? What's up? Erwin Torres, what up? Body work, what's going on? Erwin Melazar, Khan Seba, salute everyone. Salute Body Work Boxing, salute Melazar. Smoke Session, Sports and Entertainment, salute. What it do, bro? Champion Sports Boxing in the building. I see you've been doing your thing, Champion Sports Boxing. I've been checking out the shorts and everything. You've been in the lab. I like it a lot. Subscribe to them too. Smoke. And subscribe to Champ. Them my peoples. Arnaldo Nieves. Saludos. What's going on? Sam Arnald, what up? Body Work. We in the building. Let's go. That's what I like to hear, Sam. Salute. Johnny in this. What up, brother? Body Work. Salute. Yeah, we in the building. Like I said, I'm here. And I want to get on down to the get down. Okay, so, but what just happened, right? Lomachenko came and just like S.I.C Cruz, because nobody saw S.I.C Cruz at 40. We knew that he was becoming a major player. He was a name, but we wasn't sure. But S.I.C Cruz, he did something when he beat Rolly, right? And so here we go. We had knew that it was coming. But Lomachenko came. He got it in with Kambosos, right? Lomachenko came. And now we got Lomachenko as the IBF. We got Shakur Stevenson as the WBC. And we got Gervonta Tank Davis with the WBA. Then the WBC is up for grabs. And that's between Baranchek and Navarrete. So we'll get answers. Oh yeah, we're gonna get answers. And I didn't even put them in there because let's be honest, man, nobody really knows. I mean, some people know that guy Baranchek. Everybody know Navarrete, but I'm like, man, this is one of them things to where this man gonna keep moving up because he's been weight bullying. And he got some big hands. He's very awkward, high activity, and he's gonna get picked apart at 135. I'm gonna be honest, he's not one of my guys. So that leads me to this, which is very important. We went over who the champs are, but these are the assassins. You heard me? These are the assassins. You got Frank Martin. He's getting ready to get a bite at the apple with Tank Davis. We got William Zepeda. I think he's waiting in line either for Loma or the winner of, I mean, he could have got Tank or Shakur. So I'm thinking he was waiting in line for the winner of Loma and Kambosos. And I'm thinking, man, out of the young guys, I'm thinking, man, to be honest, I'm really feeling like Loma is really going to be looking at him or the winner of Navarrete and Baranchek. And I need to play this one thing, bro. I want to play this one thing, but it's just to let you know that I really don't be playing when it comes down to like telling y'all, and when I be putting these stakes in the ground, what's really going on. So I might have to pull that up just to kind of set a tone, just to see the beginning of that, like a minute into what the intro to one of these videos that I actually had to actually let you know that there's always been a plan on one side. And really what I want y'all to really see, when you look at this equation right here, you got to think that you might well draw a line right in between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lomachenko. You know why? Because there is control amongst the promotional companies. Everybody say, oh man, it's up to Tank. But last time I checked, Shakur Stevenson is over there with Top Rank. The winner of that WBC is going to be over there with Top Rank. Lomachenko been over there with Top Rank. And last time I checked, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Somebody talked about the former undisputed champ down at 135. And, oh, he was willing to do this because he moved over here and he moved over there. But he never went over to that side of the street where Tank was, or even stood still long enough to where it could be a one-off or some kind of deal to be able to do it. I just start letting people just do whatever and say whatever they want, man. It ain't even no need to really correct nobody, really set nobody to the side. But I do want to point out something that these guys, Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, even Navarrete, he wasn't in the division. But these guys were over there on Top Rank. Tank was over there, and for the longest time, he wasn't even calling the shots. Allegedly, right now, he's supposedly calling the shots. Before it was, I'm fighting the guys whoever, I got the best team in boxing, I'm fighting the guys that they put in front of me. And I believe that was the case. I think maybe he had a opportunity to be able to say something, but I think that at that point in time, man, Tank was just living a life trying to fight. So I don't really think he grabbed the bull by the horns. I think when he went and sat down for a little while and gathered himself, did some self-reflecting and started looking and listening and had some time away. And just like that dark room, when I say a film, you got to take a film back in that dark room. Let it develop until that picture get clear. And when he emerged, yeah, he had a little bit of stuff left over. Had the ankle bracelet on. Guess he wanted to be free of his mind. But it almost looked like, and from everything I'm hearing from all of the sources, I'm no insider. I don't have any inside scoop. This is just me following along, putting stakes on the ground as a working man that does content. And I pay attention. I just happen to pay attention to these things. So what's really going on is it appears as though he has full control. Now, just because he has full control and he's grabbing the bull by the horns and he's saying, I want this and I want that and I want this and I want that, that don't mean that the fights can necessarily happen. So I had to reiterate that there were true sides of the street. So a lot of, if you rock with me and man, it's like, yeah, you can go back and forth with some people, but I'm at a stage now where, man, people want to believe what they want to believe. People are going to cater to and excuse what they want to excuse. They're going to give a pass for who they want to give a pass to. They're going to be overcritical about whoever they want to. You can't really change people. All you got to do is pretty much state the facts. They say you can't lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. Because if you do, you'll drown them. So, in the grand scheme of things, even though he has full control, I think he's going to be at the mercy of these guys, whoever have the best performances, granted, he get past Frank Martin. A lot of people are overlooking Frank Martin. I know that by any means, a lot of people already know that when you look at it on paper and when you look at the performances and the big bright lights and the experience and everything like that, he's not on Tank's level. But we do know this is boxing. You know, anytime a C-level fighter can take something and beat, you know, a guy that was better than Sugar Ray Leonard, man, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So, these are the champs, but these are the assassins. Now, what I want to know from y'all is, out of these assassins, or did I miss anybody? Because yeah, I did mention Navarrete, I did mention Baranchek. You know, I probably could have put there was a couple other people I probably could have put on here, but these are the guys that I see. These are the guys that I believe are going to be around and are truly a force to be reckoned with right now. I'm not going to lie. You know, when I see some of these guys, man, like when I look at any one of these guys, man, for different reasons. I mean, when I look at Andy Cruz, he has a history with Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis is in pursuit of one Teofimo Lopez, but that's at the 140. And I'm going to try to stay focused. And if you can, you stay focused too. Because even though I know that some of these guys are really 140 pounders, like I believe Frank Martin and Keyshawn, I think they're 140s. It was a rumor that De Los Santos was going to go to 140 and fight one of the big guys up there. Now y'all already know about 140. That's a whole different ball game up there at 140. You already know what I call that. I call 140 the row, because it's nothing but killers up there. We went over that. This is the row. Those are the champions. Nothing has changed, even though it was a Barclay calibration. You know, that's all up in limbo, but that's the row. That's pretty much concrete. These are the major players in the row. Those are the guys that's on the come up right now on the row. And these guys will act like sometimes that they will actually go out and fight some of these guys on the road. But if we want to be honest, but we don't know what that guy's doing. And we don't know the verdict of that. So when I look at this, Floyd Schofield, he's Golden Boy's big ticket, I believe. You know, I was looking at an interview of him and his father last week, and at first I was like, oh man, they doing the same thing these other guys was doing. I see the blueprint they doing. They looking and acting and sounding the same way. But when I actually looked at the video, when I actually listened, man, Floyd's dad, that man actually got a lot of sense. And yeah, it might seem like he's being overprotective and things like that, but he actually he's there with his son. He kind of give the signals. He pull the reins back when he need to, and he take possession of stuff. He don't even let his son speak out certain things to manifest certain things out of his mouth. And that's real. I thought that they were leaning on more of the salacious type, trying to spark and say, but the more and more I think about it, and then Floyd said some things that let me know, like, okay, he gonna be all right. Like the way Floyd look at it is, if he actually lose a fight, that's like the initiation. So he wants to fight. Yeah, I believe him that he wants to fight. I believe that they got him on a plan. Oscar and them got him on a plan, and of course they got to manage, because you know you got to look at boxers, even though they are human, they do this like for promotional companies, they are commodities. Some people, like, they be acting like, oh yeah, I'll put this, like people who have game dogs and they fight and they do this, yeah, I'll put this up against this, but in all essence, they're still trying to manage their commodity. Because once one of them commodities get damaged, it's damaged goods, they gotta find a replacement. Or if not, they gotta go find somebody else. But when I heard Floyd Schofield basically say, look, man, if I lose, I lose. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna go hard, I wanna fight the best, I wanna fight this guy. Because at first I was like, man, those names are outrageous. Then I thought about it, I said, hold on, that sound about right. The names that he listed. That sound about right. But the way this young man looks at actually taking the laws, him and his father, they got it instilled that that's pretty much an initiation. For most boxers aren't going to be Floyd. If you match tough and you match hard and you really fighting the very best. That's why I give Naoya so much credit, because when you look at his track record and moving up, he's not moving up to go get his feet wet. He's moving up to go fight unified champions, and in the next fight another unified champion to undispute. Then move up to the next division, take more belts and undispute. Like, he's looking to do big and better. So every time he steps in there, he's stepping up with higher level competition as he moves up in weight. In his 5th weight class, still fighting the best. So now he's right on the tip of the iceberg to where dimension-wise and size-wise and comfort level, he's more prone to get beat. It's just a letter of the law, but he's still going to be aspiring to fight the very best. We got people sitting up in another weight class, just sitting around twiddling their thumbs saying his name like they really want it, and I don't respect that. I respect these guys that want to go out, the guys that's calling out the guys in their division. They want to go out, seek the smoke, and get it on. If I lose, I lose. I live to fight another day. I'm getting right back in there. Hey, me losing might be my initiation. I love to hear that, because I didn't know what angle they was on. I didn't know the Schofields was on. I thought it was all about the salaciousness, but no, they got a real plan. I think his father is very smart. He got a couple different blueprints that he can move behind, and he can run, and he can kind of pick his lane and move over and do this. But I think he's in good hands. He also has Bernard Hopkins, and this was something I pointed out a while ago. When I was going into that Ryan fight, when I first heard Ryan say that he was trolling, I said, oh man. He said 99% of the stuff that you're going to see me doing, I'm trolling. When I first heard him say that, I sat back and I said, is he? Then I thought about who he had with him. Not only does he have the man with the master hook and Oscar De La Hoya, but he has a man that was a menace when it came to getting into your opponent's head, and that was Bernard Hopkins. But guess who got access to Bernard Hopkins? Floyd Schofield. So I think if he calmed down, he refined a little bit of his skills. He refined his skills a little bit, become more sharper, more precise, not so many looping shots. I see he got rid of that nervous tick that he had when he put his hands in, towards his waist, and they were saying that's you gonna get it. You could commit somebody to look in that area, and then once you get them to react to look in a certain way, then you can do what you want to do. I understood that, but me looking at him inside the ring, regardless of what people said, he did get rid of that, and he did get better at that. If he can get in there and get some of that stuff that only Bernard knows how to do, those little in the ring acting, those little veteran moves that you can do while you in the ring, when you in the clinches, like just those things. If he just really got in that dark room with Bernard Hopkins and De La Hoya, and he listened to what they say, he's a force to be reckoned with. Very powerful. Lived the life of an athlete. He might really be a 140 right now. He's very vascular, but I think he can be a little more fluid. I want to see how he stretch out and as he grows, because he's very young, but he's going to stake a claim in the division. They move him right. We got Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz, the Olympian. He has one of the best offensive games I've seen in a while. When I'm talking about a sharpshooter now, we got to consider the level of competition and who he's fighting. But these guys are not, like warehouse workers and construction workers and stuff like that. These guys are not like that. These guys have been in the ring with these other guys. And I think that right now what I'm seeing with Andy Cruz in his adaptation to the pro style is that he tends to play with his foot a little bit. But when you talking about pinpoint accuracy, footwork, like swim without getting wet, that's him. That's Andy Cruz. That is Andy Cruz. Once he really start turning over punches even more, and he really start being more methodical. But I think Bozy got him on a plan. I think a lot of these times when I was thinking he was playing with his food, they probably want the man to be able to get the rounds. Anytime iron can sharpen iron, and you can get it in with boots at any point in time, and you learn it from him, man. I see big things for Andy Cruz. I'll be wondering where the energy is from Keyshawn to go at Andy Cruz. But then again, I say that, hey, all these boxers know that it's a plan. A lot of us don't really know that it's a plan, but there is a plan. So, Keyshawn, man, shows flashes of buzz. Without the switch hitting, but the offense, the punching with you with those long arms and that nasty, gritty, like he's the one that shows the most flashes of bud, in my opinion. If he can focus, if Keyshawn can just focus, get on that Mayweather blueprint. He already got the gift of gab. He can already interview. He comes alive. When it comes to getting in the big screen, he is a ham. He's from Virginia, so he's out here in the DMV area. I want to support him. I want to push. I like his brother. I be showing support for his brother online, because I know with Keyshawn having all the spotlight, some people need to be pushing Kelvin too, because Kelvin has a frame, not to get off track, but he has a frame that if he develop into what he needs to be, and he got a very tough opponent. He got a very tough opponent coming up, which I was surprised to see him, Kevin Thunderstorm. I seen that the other day. But he has a frame to where, man, if they develop him the right way, he becomes a little bit more aggressive. Very, very dangerous. But when it comes to Keyshawn, I'm looking for him to start stepping on everybody around him. I'm ready for Keyshawn Davis to start stepping on everybody around him. It can't be you and Moritaya. It can't be you and Andy Cruz out there. The Olympians. It can't just be y'all. Y'all got to step on each other. Now, maybe those might be the money fights. Maybe those are the storylines that's going to grow. But listen, these are 135 assassins. You already know what happened when you graduate to 140. That is the road. And perhaps, aside from Sabril Matias and Teofimo Lopez, I believe that aside from them, the best people at 140 don't even have the belts. Aside from them two. When you talking about Gary Antoine Russell, when you talking about Kenny Sims Jr., you talking about them guys. So when you graduate to 140, you already know. I'm looking for these assassins. They getting ready to start going ham. Yeah, they're going to have to bump into each other. Before I go to the baby boy, Edwin De Los Santos, the grenade, very explosive. When you look at his record and the two losses that he actually have, one was a very close decision when it was his first fight over in the United States, and that fight could have went either way. When you actually physically look at that fight between him and Shakur Stevenson, you could have had that a draw, or you could have had De Los Santos winning that fight. You could have. If you looked at it. That's just being honest with you. Of course, they wasn't going to not allow Shakur to walk up out of there with that, because he did enough to get the nod to where it's like, okay, cool, we got to give a nod. We're going to give it to him. But that wasn't like he got beat terribly or no. Man, they set a record. They set a record after Regis and Zorilla. They set a record after that. So those were two fights. Those were actually three fights. The Zorilla and Regis, the Regis and Devin, and then the De Los Santos and Shakur were three anomaly fights. Anomalies. You wouldn't. I'd be hard pressed if you see that again. Anytime in the next 10 years, if you see those three kind of fights again, with the punches landed versus activity and all that, if you see those anomalies again, I would be shocked. You're not gonna see it. But when I talk about the baby boy, Abdullah Mason, man, he has everything. The young man has everything. everything, every punch, a variety, a punch selection. I mean, it's almost like the same variety that Boots have when he goes full offense. When he goes full offense, but this guy's surgical. Laser-like accuracy, will punch with you, will beat you to the punch. Veteran. Dangerous. I see nothing but I would love to see him in Floyd Schofield right now. Like right now. I would pay top dollar to see that fight right now, but we know that these all are building. I think Frank's next up the bat. Frank Martin. To speak on Frank, man, I'm a fan of Frank Martin. You know, I stopped doing content about certain boxers. I'm a fan of certain boxers, and I would do more content about them, but because of the fan base and how, like, certain people, I just don't want to deal with it, man. That's to be honest. It's more hassle than what it's worth. You know, we got gatekeepers. You know, you got people thinking you're going to step on their toes. You got haters. You got, you know, it's just a lot. So Frank Martin is one of them guys that I would definitely have done more content. I started doing more content about him a while ago. I like the fact that he likes to go to the body. He goes upstairs. He goes downstairs. I think he's a little bit too vascular. And I believe that he's a true 140 pounder. So I think Frank is going to be his best when he gets to 140 pounds. That's just me. I think that he's going to have even more power. You know, I just think that right now Frank he behind the 8 ball because a lot of these guys have been fighting for years longer than him. He was a late bloomer, but he's, you know, athletic and all that. And he has the IQ. I've listened to Frank. What's so dangerous about Frank is people don't think that he don't have a high IQ, but I've listened to Frank actually call out fights and give his stamp on what was going to happen, and it actually happened. He has a high boxing IQ. I think it's a good thing for him and Derrick James. He just got a tough task ahead of him, in front of him. I would have liked him to fight Shakur. You know, I don't like the way that situation was, but I would have loved to have seen him against Shakur before he actually goes into this Tank Davis fight. But Frank is more than just a live dog. You know, you can get too cocky on a guy like Frank, just like Michelle Rivera did, and find yourself on your back pockets. Frank has showed that he has dog in him. He has intestinal fortitude. He can reach down and, you know, dig down a little bit deeper if he need to. And he will catch you by surprise. You know, I'm not going to get into the breakdown between him and Tank and what I think is going to be the issue with him. Not going to get into that. But as far as Frank being one of the top-notch competitors, he is. And to be a late bloomer is surprising. That just lets you know how good he is. Yeah, because just like I pointed out, when I was pointing out these champs, and I was saying, oh yeah, remember, it's two sides of it's all of these belts are on one, a certain set of these belts are on one side, and a certain set of these belts are on the other side. But when you look at the side that Tank was on, and you look at a lot of the opponents, I mean, they had to actually find guys on that side where it wouldn't be a hassle for him to be able to fight that had a name, had something going on, was either a champion, former champion. People fail to remember that Ryan Garcia actually pulled out of a fight with Tank, and he was supposed to have Abner Mares on there before all that stuff happened with Abner Mares. He was supposed to have Abner Mares, and Abner Mares pulled out of a fight with him. Left him down bad. Nevertheless, he persevered, and now you're going to see Frank and Tank. That's a real breakdown. I was going down through the top 15. I was going down the top 15 earlier, and I was looking at everything, and I was like, man, some of these people, man, we don't know some of these people. I've seen them in the rankings because I've been following along and watching and actually trying to figure out who was actually going to take over and who you know, just like I did with 140, and I said, man, you got to get to know these guys like Claggett and these guys because they're gonna get opportunities. I had no idea till FEMA was actually going to fight him at that time. I was just doing my due diligence, looking through the rankings, and I'm just like, okay, who is this? Who is that? You know, and guys be disappearing. And I don't know why this name came up, but I know at 140 there was a guy named Brandon Lee who had a lot, you know, everybody was on him. I think because he had the image, he had the power, and then a guy moved up from 35. I think it was like Madera or something. Sat him down. Really was like really boxing. I think if that guy would have actually fought at 140 a time before he actually fought Brandon Lee, might have put him out there. But we don't even hear about him. So some of these names I didn't go through in the top 15, but those are the killers. Those are the killers. Those are the assassins at 135. And you know, it's just a lot of speculation. People have different energy for who they want to unify at 135, because now you got to start looking at the landscape. Shakur Stevenson has one more fight. Overall, in general, advice that you would give somebody, anybody, you don't care who you with, what you got going on, what you would think is, okay, if you had a bad performance or a lackluster, I wouldn't say bad. If you had a lackluster performance, right, and it fell flat, then you don't want to keep putting out information for people to keep barbecuing you online. You want to actually get off of social media. Ask your promotional team, like, you know, what y'all got going on? What you got for me? You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be the one on social media trying to do all this, even though that's what this new age thing is. Everybody got to be on social media promoting themselves, and it's just a way for, depending on which fan base got the clout, got the juice. Because think about that one fan base. That one fan base ruined the reputation of Gary Russell, ruined the reputation of T.O., ruined the reputation, tried to ruin the reputation of Tank, ruin the reputation of Cambosis, ruin the reputation of Ryan. I don't really think they ruined the reputation of Regis, but you gotta think, whatever fan base really got the juice. I'm talking about YouTube. I'm not talking about what goes on in the ring, who got the skill. I'm talking about YouTube. You don't want to keep rubbing those fan bases the wrong way. Why? Because they'll all get together and go against you. They might band together just because, you know what I'm saying, it's on some mode, the enemy of my enemy is my friend type stuff. We see that kind of stuff happen all the time, especially on YouTube. You would want to get off social media. You would want to, on your next performance, since it's your last performance, you would want to set a very good performance, especially because of the caliber of opponent. I didn't even put Artem on there. He already lost to Frank. I didn't put him on there. But you would want to put on an example, knock this dude out, and at the very end, not saying resign or do or leave or do anything. You want to get off social media, redeem yourself, put on a good performance, and then evaluate your options. I would give that to anybody. I don't care who you sign, what you got going. That would be my advice. Now, you know what you got to deal with. You know what you got to do, but I would stay off social media, because a lot of the thing, when you say, oh, man, I could go do this, or they not letting me do this, or just like all that heat Tank was getting before the Loma fight, you know, and it was almost like it was an insinuation by Shakur. It's like, well, you know, am I really going to get the fight if I go over there, or are they going to try to stop me from getting belts? I'm like, first of all, stop you from getting what belt? His belt? If you don't fight him, you can't get his belt, but he can't stop you from getting none of the other belts. Then right after the fight, it was, oh, Bob this and Bob that. It's like, man, come on, man. And I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna play this video after I get to the comments, and I get ready to close out. I'm gonna get this video up. I'm gonna play this video, and it's actually gonna show you that they had a plan. That's why I say, man, I don't be playing around with this boxing. I do body work, and they had a plan. They had a plan. And the reason why Shakur threw the temper tantrum is because the plan that they had, it's almost looking like Bob reneged. But Bob is only using this leverage because it's almost like, hey, I'm gonna have 3 champions on this. I'm gonna have 2 other champions over here. So yeah, you can go shop, you can explore. He said it'll be all hunky-dory if they want to do business forward, but just like everybody else, when you got a promotional company, you're gonna look out for your guys and keep the guys that's down with you. You're gonna keep your guys fed. So it's a big decision to be made in that category. That's the landscape. That's how I see it, man. These are the champs. These are the assassins. Let me see. Let me get back up here to the comments. Samuel Arnall, hey, they doing Subriel dirty by putting Tank, Benavidez, and Whitaker in Vegas same day. Subriel fighting in his backyard. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough, man. They playing big bank, take little break bank, man. That's rough, man. That is rough. Hey, body work. I predicted Loma KO Kambosos in the 11th round. That's what's up. You put some bread on. You put some bread on it, Arnaldo. I was the only one who had Loma KO Kambosos 11th round. I believe you. At another channel, I really did. I believe you. I got proof. I believe you, Arnaldo. You know how we do, man. I really thought it was going to be UD because Devin went 24 rounds with Kambosos. Cameron Zepeda nasty too now. Yeah, I'm not really high on him. He get hit a lot. Man. I think you wrote WBC twice. You're missing WBO. Did I? Did I mess that up? Oh, yeah, that's WBO. That should be WBO. Yeah, good catch. Good catch. That should be WBO. That's what y'all here for, man. I'm not perfect, man. I'm not one of them people, man, that believe they perfect, man. I make mistakes, man. I'm only human, man. But I appreciate that. Let's see. But yeah, that was a good catch. I'll fix that. If Bodywork lets me share my proof, but it's from another channel that I follow. I think people believe you. You're a solid dude. We believe you, man. We believe you, Arnaldo. You don't gotta show that, man. We believe you. There's 4 big fights. But if you want people to, you can share it. I mean, if you want, if you want me to share it, I will. But man, we don't. It's the 300, man. We believe you. There's 4 big fights on June 15th. I know it's business, but they are trying to take the spotlight away from Subriel's biggest fight. It's a dirty game, man. It is a dirty game out here, man. They are all great fighters, but why put everybody on the same day? It's a dirty game. Angelina, our body work. Salute. It's a dirty game, man. Schofield father, another toxic father. I've been listening to him before. Abdullah is my guy. Yeah. I think he will come across as that, but I got something else from him the other day. He's gonna be sensational. He is. Mayweather third is good too. I keep hearing his name, but he's came on the scene here very recently. Not sure why they had the same date. Tank was going to change it to the 22nd. It hurts Tank's pay-per-view sales from the PR fans that are going out to Puerto Rico to see Matias. Yeah. And for Matias, I think that can experience a Tito Trinidad moment, canvas getting up and beat No Mas Tears at the final 10th, beginning of the 11th. It's just my own opinion. All right, I'm gonna start that then. We're gonna start that. So you have your proof here. Saludos, Correo, Bodywork, salute. Frontline, salute. Good to see you. Wepa, frontline. Nardo, saludos, and Papi. Let's see. Best thing happening to Matias is Tank versus Martin in the same day. The Matias gets same views on the zone as Tank do on PBC would be great. Plus, in every sport book will have both fights. Frontline. Okay, putting out your prediction. Okay, y'all. Frontline. Nostradamus. Okay. My top 5: Benavidez, Crawford, Sabril, Naoya. In a way. My favorite at 135 are Andy Cruz, Keyshawn Davis, and Abdullah Mason. Yeah, that's you see they part of the assassins. He's a problem for everyone, and the dude is so young. That's what's so scary about him. Keyshawn versus Andy should happen in the next 3 years, not now. Yeah, I figure they got him on something. They know. That's why I said some of these we'll go back and forth and we'll be ready to rip each other head off. But these boxers know it's a plan. Wait till I play that video. Wait till I play this video when I get ready to roll out here and I show y'all the plan. It was a plan. It was a plan, man. So everybody, there's a lot of people that they need likes, clicks, views, money, something to keep the channel going. So they're gonna shear the sheep is what I call it. They're gonna tell y'all whatever y'all want to know, and then have y'all running around like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, calling people ducks and this and that. But even outside of promotional companies, these guys know. These guys know. Every now and again, somebody upset the apple cart, and they'll do something out of bounds. An example, I'll be saying like when T.O. did the Triller thing. That was outside of the plan. So now he's paying the price for that. That was outside of the plan. But these guys outside of that, they know. If y'all think that they don't sit down or they don't have people that communicate and kind of put fillers out and do all of that, you gotta think about it. They know the plan. We don't. They play us as fans. They be knowing. Schofield got exposed a little last fight. Yeah, he need to calm down a little bit. He need to clean up some of his technique. But he said that he a dog sometimes. He just want to fight. It's going, he gonna learn his lesson. But I think he got a bright future as well. Andy Cruz and Cameron Zepeda. I like his work ethic. He's a workhorse. He lived the lifestyle of an athlete. He just need the fine tuning. He need the tutelage and the fine tuning and the repetition. That's what he needs. I'm not so hyped for Schofield. Yeah, he's he a work in progress right now, but I think he got a bright future because he's a dog. He's a workhorse. Cameron Zepeda versus Stevenson. I see Shakur schooling Cameron got a lot of head and waist movement. Plus, he doesn't like to get punched in the face. Yeah, man, but I don't call boxers women names, man. That man got a daughter. I believe that Cameron will give him a good battle. He will put the pressure. We know Cameron got stamina, valiant, but he get hit too much, man. I like to see Schofield and Zepeda. Hey, yo, I'm glad 2024 is turning out to be a good year in boxing so far. Me too. Me too. I told you everybody's losing their O's, and now we starting to get to an even playing field. I like it. And then with all this social media, man, it just makes it even better with social media. Because now people, man, you can talk so much stuff that he said it's cracking now. You can talk so much stuff that you wind up putting your foot in your mouth, and then you got to answer for all the things that you said. And somebody might, like what that C-level fighter did with that stuff in the system, somebody might put you out on full display. put you in your back pockets. And if you ain't got a Harvey doctor, stop it. You're gonna be out of there like spacely sprockets. I gotta go. See you next time. Saludos, saludos. Heriberto Alvarado, saludos. Yeah, that was the breakdown. I'm gonna play this one thing for y'all. Real quick. Let me play y'all this one thing, man, to let y'all know that it's a plan, man. Stick with the channel, man. We growing. We put stakes in the ground, man. I'm you know, I'm kind of proud of the channel, man, because we don't really be changing like that, man. We don't really we hold it down. You know, I'm kind of proud that I stick to my guns, man, and I don't have to do nothing. I don't got to do nothing crazy, say nothing crazy. I could just do my thing, man, and might not be the most popular, man, but I still can look at myself in the mirror at night, man. I can still look myself in the face. Let me get this up here. Let me see. I'm just getting y'all this, man. Remember I told y'all we were gonna concise the lives or whatever, and for people that's watching the playbacks and stuff like that. All right, I found it, y'all. I found it, y'all. This is what I was telling y'all, man, how it's really a plan. They really be having a plan, but look. Let me show y'all this real quick. Then I'll open up the floor for any questions or any comments, and we'll be out of here, man. Make it more enjoyable. If you want to catch the playback, sometimes you catch stuff on the playback. Sometimes when you go back and you listen, you be like, "Oh man, I ain't even hear when he said that, or I ain't even do this, or I ain't do." But look at this, y'all. Look at this. Just let y'all know. Look at this.
You just never know. It might play out where Devin might not even get a chance to fight Lomachenko. He might go up to 40 and end up fighting Tio, and it might just be me and Lomachenko. So you just never know how it's going to go at the end of the day. I think they're amazing fights.
Look, this was 8:28:22.
I'm down with that.
Let me play it again.
You just never know. It might play out where
look at the
Devin
thumbnail.
might not even get a chance to fight Lomachenko. He might go up to 40 and end up fighting Tio, and it might just be me and Lomachenko. So you just never know how it's going to go at the end of the day. I think they're amazing fights. Both of them amazing fighters. And, I'm down with that.
Previously on Bodywork Box.
Yeah, Devin Haney's obligation to do the rematch in October with Gamboza. And after that, if he's successful, then Loma will be fighting hopefully in October. We can look forward to a Loma Haney fight, which will be a massive event.
Absolutely. And just my last few questions around Haney. Some people have been saying one of the big fights that could be made, Floyd said that could be like Devin Haney and Shakur would be tremendously popular. You think
that fight for top rank. Shakur against Lomachenko, Shakur against Haney are big, big fights.
My, how we be having convenient amnesia. Did you hear that? With fighters that fight for top rank. So all that I'm trying to police up the channel a little bit, just a little bit. All of that hogwash that people be saying, oh, this could have happened and they could have did this. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Now, we see why Shakur Stevenson is having a temper tantrum. They knew Devin was going to 40, and he said at the end it was going to be him and Lomachenko. What did Bob do? Switched it up. Don't act like it's not a pattern of this. So they be knowing. So I see why Shakur is a little bothered and this and that, but then he take his frustrations out and he get all the attention to be pointed on somebody else and what somebody else got to do. But they all had a plan. They all had a plan. And Bob said with fighters from top rank. He didn't say nobody else. It's the same way he was looking at Loma, just like people saying Loma and Tank and all this. Like, listen, that was in August of 2022 when Bob said that. That's why I say, man, that's why it's hard when I hear people pointing out these narratives, especially the big, like these big people, like the big ones, the ones that, you know what I'm saying, pretty much permeate YouTube. They just make it up as they go along and they flip-flop, they waffle. They go back and forth. Oh, what narrative can I do this? Oh, what can I say to infuriate these people to get people to say this and do that? And this is all day. They just do this all day. They had a plan. That's why Shakur's upset, because they had a plan and now it's looking like, okay, I'm on my last fight and you acting funny, Bob. Like, what's going on? Like, am I going to get? That's why he threw the temper. Because think about it. Shakur threw the temper tantrum. Shakur threw the temper tantrum before all this stuff when they were saying his Tank going to try to stop him from getting the belts and all this. He threw the temper tantrum when it was already known. Think of back when he threw the temper tantrum and said he was going to retire. You remember that? Why did he do that? He knew back then he wasn't going to get the Baran check. You know, he knew back then he wasn't going to get that fight. So who was he mad at? He mad that Bob changed the plan. Because Devin did go to 40. It has come to pass where it really should be when you look at it over there, because Navarrete will just be moving up. He'll be kind of like out of the way because he's going for that WBO. But it really should be him and Lomachenko right now, and Bob changed the plan. Don't let people get out here online and try to redirect and revert your attention and energy, because we heard it from the horse's mouth. What Bob said. Don't listen to these guys that create and have you, you know what I'm saying, one person on this side pulling this arm, the other person playing tug and war with you, and you like, oh, I don't know who to believe. Like, listen to what Bob said, how he do it, and then look at the track record and the history. He getting some bread. Oh yeah, he getting some bread, but at the same time, and all the belts are over there on Top Rank. I appreciate that. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Sam. I favor Davis for the future. Yeah, I like Davis. But yeah, I wanted to share that. I wanted to give y'all a nugget, give y'all some of this nutritional value, because like I said, man, people be making up stuff every day, B. People be out here running and creating narratives every day, B. Somebody got to put stakes in the ground and keep a timeline and a track record of what's really going on out here, because y'all know how it is, man. Some of the most popular things and the most popular sayings isn't always what's right and exact and truthful. Don't forget that. But thanks Sam. Thanks for coming through, Sam. Sam Smoke, Heriberto, Melazar, Arnaldo. Frontline was in here. Frontline was in this piece. Who else was up in here? Angelina, Champion Sports Boxing, Our Money, Johnny was in here. Erwin Torres was in here. Josh John was in here. Hey, all my people was in here, man. We still a little bit light, you know what I'm saying? I know some of my people ain't gonna come in unless I talk about Subriel, but I try to tell y'all, man, y'all gotta rock with me so y'all can stay abreast of what's going on outside of just to select. Coquille. Salute body work. I be seeing you out. You be out there. You still be out there cracking ribs, Coquille. I be seeing you out there doing your thing, man. You know how it is online. I don't want to be like, hey, what's up sometimes, because then people be like, oh, he's with him or he's cool, because it happens, man. People be talking too damn much on this YouTube, man. So I be seeing you out there cracking ribs, Coquille. You know what I'm saying? Doing that body work. But yeah, that's all I really had. That's all I really had today. I'm gonna shorten up the lives, and if on the time when we just sitting it, kicking it, and it requires that much time, I'll continue to do that. But I'm gonna shorten it up a little bit for people that's catching the playback and get back in the groove of doing my videos. Y'all see, I've been doing my little 10, 15, 20-minute videos aside from doing the live. I'm balancing now. I'm seeing what's going on. I'm about to get back to my man Subriel. I've been in the lab. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of people biting off that Subriel. You know what I'm saying? So if he out there, tell him come holler at me, man, so we can do something classic. If you got Subriel, tell him holler at me. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I really had, man. 135 is on his way to being the hottest division. It's a couple other divisions that'll give, like 140 is on fire right now. 154 is on fire right now. So we'll see, y'all. But thanks for everybody who came in. Thanks for everybody who always support. Hit the like button. Those who are my channel members who keep the lights on. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. But be safe out there, y'all. Thanks for choosing Bodywork Box. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay. You want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to